Welcome, welcome, welcome to the film show with its ears to the ground. On today's menu, we're taking a look at the 10 things you never knew about James Bond. James Bond was by no means the first 007. That honour belongs to a man called John Dee, an astrologist and scientist who worked for Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth in the late 1500s. Yes, over 500 years ago. John provided a number of services to both queens, but the most notable was his work as spy for Queen Elizabeth. When he wrote to the Queen to tell her about his secret missions, he signed off his letters as 007, leading many to speculate whether this inspired Ian Fleming several centuries later. No one knows exactly who inspired Ian Fleming to create James Bond. Some suggest that it was his older brother Peter, who'd had an eventful wartime career, narrowly escaping death in Greece, where his life was saved by an officer called Rodney Bond. What we do know is that the name James Bond came from a book Fleming had on his Caribbean estate GoldenEye. The book was called Birds of the West Indies, and it was by an American ornithologist called James Bond. In the James Bond novels, 007 often behaved cruelly towards women. This side of Bond's character was inspired by Fleming's somewhat unusual attitude to women. Yes, he loved a bit of S&M, especially with his wife Anne Charteris, former wife of newspaper magnate Viscount Rothermere. In a letter Anne wrote to Ian in 1948, she reveals, "It's very lonely not to be beaten and shouted at every 5 minutes. I must be perverse and masochistic to want you to whip me and contradict me, particularly as you're always wrong about everything." Although they were popular in Britain, the James Bond books didn't immediately take off in the United States. This all changed when Fleming met President John F. Kennedy in 1960 and reportedly gave him ideas on how to discredit Cuba's Fidel Castro. After this meeting, Kennedy named From Russia with Love as one of his favourite books, and combined with the release of the first movie, book sales in the States soon rocketed to 17 million. Which actor first played James Bond? If you're thinking Sean Connery, you're wrong. He was actually the third actor to play Bond. The first was American actor Barry Nelson, who played card sharp Jimmy Bond on a 1954 CBS TV show called Climax. Reportedly, this was considered a pilot for a possible James Bond TV series. In 1956, Bond was then played by Bob Holness in a 1-hour South African radio play of Moonraker. Holness then went on to front the hugely popular British game show Blockbuster. So, what's James Bond's favourite drink? If you're thinking vodka martinis, you'd be wrong. In the novels, Bond drinks a total of 19 vodka martinis, which is eclipsed by his total of 21 scotch and sodas, 30 glasses of champagne, 35 glasses of sake, and his favourite drink, bourbon whiskey, which he drinks 37 times. His least favourite drinks include Calvados, pink gins, and rum, which only get drunk once. James Bond was extremely fond of smoking cigarettes, so much so that the character promoted them. Bond's brand of choice were called Moreland Specials, and they were distinctive due to having 3 gold rings. These rings reflected the 3 gold rings on a naval commander's jacket. The cigarettes were on sale in London's Grosvenor Street and were only ever sold in an exclusive blue box with gold foil lettering. Posh or not. According to Bond gadget designer Ken Adam, the jetpacks used in the 1965 film Thunderball are one of the few Bond gadgets that ever made it to commercial production. Instead of using special effects in the movie, the producers used the real thing, the Bell Aerospace Rocket Belt. Powered by pressurized hydrogen peroxide, they were developed for the US Army so that soldiers could leap over rivers and walls. Unfortunately, the maximum flight time of 20 seconds proved too short. Ever wondered what James Bond has for breakfast? Me neither, but it seems that the secret agent has very particular tastes. For breakfast, both Bond and author Ian Fleming liked eggs from Marin hens, boiled for 3.5 minutes and served on Minton china. The Marin hen originates from a town in western France, while fine Minton china comes from Stoke-on-Trent. So there you go. The shortest actor to ever get a film role appeared in knockoff James Bond films. No, not Vern Troyer, but 2'9" Filipino martial artist Wang Wang. Wang's biggest role is that of a mini Bond in films such as Agent 00 and For Your Height Only. Bless.